Niggity Lee Mwanzo. Go is the beginning. In the name of she, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man Adam called son, S-U-N, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. In the name of true begotten Son, Emmanuel, I-M-A-N-U-E-L, whose name we go with us. Matthew 1:23. In the name of the true motherland, Nigeria, Nigeria, which means land of the golds. Amani, kutoka, you, peace from above. How y'all doing? Good to be back. Bing, Book of Life. Kitty Bucha, Uzima. Reading from the New Testament of Emmanuel. Agano, Jipya, Imanuel. Reading from the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 14. Now it happened in in Iconium that they went together to the synagogue of the Jews, and so spoke that a great multitude, both of the Jews and of the Gentiles, believed. But the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles and poisoned their minds against the brethren. Therefore they stayed there a long time, speaking boldly in God of God, who was bearing witness to the word of his grace, granting signs and wonders to be done by their hands. But the multitude of the city was divided, part sided with the Jews and part with the apostolates. And when a violent attempt was made by both the Gentiles and Jews with their rulers to abuse and stone them, they became aware of it and fled to Lystra and Derbe, cities of Lycaonia, and to the surrounding region. And they were teaching the gospel there. And in Lystra, a certain man without strength in his feet was sitting, a cripple from his mother's womb, who had never walked. This man heard Paul speaking. Paul, observing him intently and seeing that he had faith to be healed, said with a loud voice, "Stand up straight on your feet." And he leaped and walked. Now when the people saw that Paul, now when the people saw that Paul had done what Paul had done, they raised their voices, saying in a Lycaonian language, "The gods have come down to us in the likeness of men." And Barnabas they called Zeus, and Paul Hermes, because he was the chief speaker. Then the priest of Zeus, whose temple was in front of their city, brought oxen and garlands to the gates, intending to sacrifice with the multitudes. But when the apostles, Barnabas and Paul, heard this, they tore their clothes and ran in among the multitude, crying out and saying, "Men, why are you doing these things? We also are men with the same nature as you, and teach to you that you should turn from these useless things to the living God of gods, who made the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all things that are in them. When who in bygone generations allow all nations to walk in their own ways. Nevertheless, he did not leave himself without witness, in that he did not in that he did good, gave us rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and gladness. And with these sayings, they could scarcely restrain the multitude from sacrificing to them. Then news from Antioch and Iconium came there, and having persuaded the multitudes, they stoned Paul and dragged him out of the city, supposing him to be dead. However, when the disciples gathered around him, he rose up and went into the city, and the next day he departed with Barnabas to Derbe. And when they had teached the gospel to their city and made many disciples, they returned to Lystra, Iconium, and Antioch, strengthening the souls of the disciples, exhorting them to continue in the faith, and saying, we must, through many tribulations, enter the kingdom of God. So when they had appointed elders in every tabernacle, and prayed with fasting, they commanded them to go to God in whom they had believed. And after they had passed through Pisidia, they came to Pamphylia. Now when they had teached the word in Perga, they went down to Attalia. From there they sailed to Antioch, where they had been commanded to the grace of God for the work which they had completed. Now when they had come and gathered the tabernacle together, they reported all that God had done with them, and that he had opened the door of faith to the Gentiles. So they stayed there a long time with the disciples. Interesting. Now, over here, verse 1, they slid that word Greek in there. But if you notice, I didn't say nothing about no Greek because I already know this was what they tried to do. Because if the Greeks was involved, why would it just be one time? First verse Greeks, then this next verse Gentiles. Man, it was Gentiles all along. One more time. It was Gentiles who came up with Zeus and Hermes. I mean Zeus and Hermes. It was the Gentiles. There were no Greeks. That's their concept that they came up with. One more time. And one more time, you keep hearing me say teach, 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 not preach, preach, preach. Emmanuel was a teacher, not a preacher. And he taught his disciples how to be teachers so they could pass along. One more time. Just like he told them, if you believe in me and he who sent me, then you could do the things that you see me doing. And that's what he just did when the man was just laying there who had never walked. And everybody know he had never walked. But by the power that's flowing through him from God of gold, what did he do? He did what he was supposed to do. one more time. That's just the way GodWithUs plan this out. One more time. It's like I keep trying to tell people, I don't go out my way to make things happen. I pay attention to what GodWithUs said. Pay attention to the signs. Just like just like 13:6, Bar Jesus, a sorcerer. One more time. 13:6, Bar BAR Jesus. So you can see, I didn't put this in there. I didn't put this in there. That's how it was presented to me. See that? One more time. One more time. You see that? 13. Right there. One more time. I just go by what I see, not what they tell me to see. One more time. I know this for a fact. Greeks is man-made. That's why every time you hear the word Greek, what go with Greek? Mythology. Mythology. Because Greek is not real. It's a myth. It's make-believe. And that's why you didn't hear me say anything about no Greeks. You heard me say Gentiles. Because that's who it is. One more time. It was the Gentiles. And you hear he say at the beginning, he divided them. They divided them. Before that, they would not have proclaimed him as a God. No one claimed Imanuel as a God. One more time. Even though he was, but no one claimed him as a God. They claimed Paul. They claimed Paul, and he said, don't do that. I am not going to balls. I am allowed to display his power through me and do what I do. One more time. That's it. That's how this works. God said, I will send those who have faith and believe in me. See how they stoned him and then drug him out of town? They thought they had killed him. So he was playing dead. One more time. One more time. One more time. Oh, he got stoned. But trials and tribulations, baby. Even though he got stoned and so on and so forth, he wasn't like, oh God, why you letting this happen? Oh God, why is this happening? Oh. He handled it. He handled it. And while they thought they was killing him, he wasn't dead. Wasn't even close to dead. Soon as they left, he hopped right up. Remember who he represent. When you represent GodWithUs, 1,000%. To lose is impossible. I acknowledge that there are times when I be like, man, why I can't? Because it ain't time. Because it ain't. That's why you can't. Because it ain't that time. Because it ain't that time. That's why you can't. I am not above no one. That's what Paul was telling him. What are you doing? No, I am not going to wars. But one more time. They paying attention to what he doing and claiming him as a god. But to him, what are you doing? I'm nobody compared to who I learned this from. You didn't glorify him. You want to glorify me? I learned the guy that I learned this from. Y'all hated him. And now I'm doing what he taught me to do. And now y'all glorifying me. Don't glorify me, because this is not me. This is he who sent me. This is he who sent my big brother to teach me so I could do what I'm doing. I am not better than my big brother. But you cursed him, nailed him, hung him on a tree. One more time, hung him upon a tree and gave him no glory. But you glorified me for doing what he taught me to do. No, that's why he ripped his clothes. Don't do that. The one who you supposed to glorify, you disrespected. Now you want to glorify me. Don't glorify me. I'm mortal man. I have not that power. Period. One more time. Free your mind. Free your mind. Free your mind. One more time. In the name of Imanuel, pay attention and knowledge what you see. One more time. Imanuel was not a preacher. He was a teacher. The Gentiles are the Gentiles, not no Greeks. Because Greeks are associated with mythology. One more time. 13:6. The sorcerer whose name is Bar Jesus. One more time. Now, if you want to keep on believing in Jesus, then you also got to believe in Bar Jesus. One more time. One more time. Cause I didn't put it in the book like that. It was presented to me in the book like that. Free your mind and the ask will follow. Go by what you see, not what you hear. Trip, siege, trip, siege, trip, siege. Cool, calm, collected. W, whole wide world. Of money, token, you, peace from above. Needy, need, Mwanzo. War is the beginning. In the name of she, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man, Adam called son, S-U-N, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. In the name of the true begotten Son, Emmanuel, I-M-A-N-U-E-L, whose name means God with us. In the name of the true motherland, Nigri, Tia, N-I-G-R-I-T-I-A, which means land of the gods. Also, the Son, for you taking time to listen. Among you, peace. I'm above. In the name of Emmanuel, Matthew 1, 2, 3.